Hello, my dear students. Today I am here to discuss with you all chapter number 3, Interior of the Earth. And the topic which I will be discussing with you is the types of the earthquake and the structure of the Earth's interior. Okay, so we will be discussing about the different types of earthquake, okay, as well as about the Earth's interior. Okay, so let us first start with the earthquake. What is earthquake actually? An earthquake, in simple word, is shaking of the earth. It is a natural event. It is caused due to the release of energy which generates waves that travel in all direction. Okay. So basically, an earthquake is actually the shaking of the earth which takes place naturally. Actually, okay, it's a natural event. Okay, and it is mainly caused due to the release of the energy in the earth's interior. Okay, in the earth's interior there is a certain release of energy because of the movement of the plates, and during this time, okay, the energy, okay, it creates waves and it travels in different direction and causes shaking of the earth actually, and which we commonly known as the earthquake. Okay. All natural earthquakes, they basically takes place in the lithosphere, that is in the upper part of the earth. Okay, all natural earthquake take place in the lithosphere, and the point where the energy is released is called the focus of an earthquake. Means the particular point in the lithosphere where the energy is released, that is known as the that particular point is known as the focus of an earthquake. It is also known as the hypocenter. Okay, the energy waves traveling in different directions, they reach the surface, and the point on the surface nearest to the focus is called epicenter. Okay, then when the energy is released from the hypocenter or from the focus, the earthquake waves, they travel in different direction and it finally reaches the earth's surface. Okay, so the point on the surface, okay, the point on the surface where the earthquake energy is released reaches actually, that is known as the epicenter. Okay, the point on the surface of the earth nearest to the focus is called the epicenter, and it is the first one to experience the waves. It is a point directly above the focus. Okay, and this particular area or the epicenter is the first, okay, where the earthquake waves reach actually. Okay, and it is the point directly above the focus. Okay, so these are the two terms which we need to keep it in our mind when we are studying about the earthquake actually. Focus of an earthquake, that is the area where the release of energy takes place in the earth's interior actually. Okay, and epicenter lies just above the focus. Okay, and it is the place where the energy first reaches the earth's surface actually. Okay, see, so basically the earthquakes, they are of different types. Okay, though the earthquakes are naturally occurring phenomena actually. Okay, it occurs naturally because of natural events, but some of the human factors are also responsible for the formation of the earthquake. Okay, so the earthquakes can be of different types. Okay, the earthquake can be divided into different types. Okay, and some of the common earthquakes are as follows. The tectonic earthquake. Okay, this is a natural earthquake actually. The most common ones are the tectonic earthquakes. They are generated due to the sliding of rocks along a fault plane. Okay, so as we know that the earth's interior is made up of different major and the minor plates, so these plates, they move in different direction. Okay, when they move towards each other, that is known as the convergent. When they move away from each other, that is known as the divergent movement, and they when move past each other, that is known as the transform. Okay, so basically when the plates, they move towards each other, okay, or they diverge from each other or they transform from one to another. Okay, certain energy is released in the earth's interior, and which causes shaking of the earth, and which are commonly known as the tectonic earthquakes. Okay, so tectonic earthquakes are generally related to the plates of the earth actually. Okay, means when the plates, they move, they releases some energy and causes the tectonic earthquake. Okay, the next one, the volcanic earthquake. A special class of tectonic earthquake is sometimes recognized as the volcanic earthquake. However, these are confined to the areas of active volcanoes. Okay, the volcanic earthquake are also related to the tectonic earthquake, but the volcanic earthquake can mainly be found in the areas of active volcanoes. Basically, what happens when the volcanic eruption takes place? Okay, there is a sudden release of huge energy. Okay, and this energy it creates shaking of the earth, and which causes earthquake actually. So basically, the areas which are the areas of the countries where volcanoes are common, okay, volcanic eruptions is common, in those areas such volcanic earthquakes can be noticed. Okay, the next is the collapse earthquake. Okay, it is because of like human activity actually. Okay, so tectonic earthquake and volcanic earthquake, these are the two types of earthquake which occurs naturally. Okay, the collapse earthquake. The collapse earthquake is a you can say that human beings are responsible for such collapse earthquake. Okay, how it forms actually. In the areas of intense mining activity, sometimes the roof of underground mines collapse, causing minor tremors, and these are called the collapse earthquake. So basically, the areas where mining activities are common, what happens? Okay, the people they take out the minerals. Okay, that is maybe the coal, petroleum, or whatever minerals they take it out from the underground. Okay, and the underground mines they remain blank, means lot of materials are being taken out from this mines actually. Okay, and sometimes in this mining areas, in the mines, what happens, the roof of the mine it falls. Okay, it collapses, and it causes minor tremors, minor shaking of the earth, which are known as the collapse earthquake. So this kind of collapse earthquake are basically confined to the areas of mining. Okay, the areas where minings are more common actually, in those areas collapse earthquake are mainly formed actually. Okay, collapse earthquake takes place actually. The next, explosion earthquake. Ground shaking may also occur due to the explosion of the chemical or the nuclear devices, and such tremors are called the explosion earthquake. So basically, what happens because of during the time of testing of nuclear weapons and all, okay, there is a huge blast which takes place, and okay, and because of this blast, the ground it shakes, okay, and it causes earthquake actually. Such earthquakes are known as the explosion earthquake actually. Okay. The next one is the reservoir induced earthquake. This is also a man-made earthquake. We can say that human beings are responsible. The earthquake that occur in the areas of large reservoirs are referred to as the reservoir induced earthquake. So basically, in the hilly areas or the areas where reservoirs are there, what happens? The reservoir they store the water actually. Okay, but if there is a failure of the reservoir, suddenly the reservoir breaks down. What happens? It causes sudden tremors. Okay, and the water gushes out to different direction actually. Okay, and the earthquake which is formed is known as the reservoir induced earthquake actually. Okay, and because of this reservoir induced earthquake, floods are common actually. Okay, floods takes place because of such reservoir induced earthquake actually. Okay, so these are the different types of earthquake. Okay, the common earthquake which we people experience on the earth's surface actually. So the volcanic earthquake and the tectonic earthquake are the natural earthquakes which takes place naturally, whereas the explosion earthquake, reservoir induced earthquake, and the mining collapse earthquake, okay, these are the result of the human activities actually. Okay, so this is what about the types of earthquake. Okay, and it's a very important topic for you all, so please go through it. Okay, and the next what I am going to discuss is about the structure of the earth's interior. Okay, we will be discussing in details about the earth's interior. See, so this diagram basically it tries to show us about the interior of the earth. So you can see here the blue portion which is there. Okay, that is actually the earth's surface. Okay, here you can see that hills are there. So basically the earth has mainly been divided into three major, okay, the earth's interior is mainly divided into three major divisions actually. Okay, that is the crust, mantle, and the core. Okay, these are the three main actually. Okay, so basically here you can see that the earth's crust is mainly divided into three main layers, that is the crust, the mantle, and the core. Okay, so we will be discussing in details about the crust, the mantle, and the core through the diagrams actually. See, first is the earth's crust. Okay, the topmost layer of the earth is known as the earth's crust. Okay, it is the outermost solid part of the earth, and it is, okay, it is brittle in nature. The thickness of the crust it varies under the oceanic and the continental areas. That is, the thickness of the crust it varies depending upon the area. Okay, depending upon the oceanic and the continental area. So basically in the oceanic areas the thickness of the crust is very less, and in the continental areas, that is in the land areas and all, okay, the thickness of the crust is more. The oceanic crust is thinner as compared to the continental crust. The mean thickness of the oceanic crust is 5 km, whereas that of the continental is around 30 km. So here we can see that the thickness of the oceanic crust is only 5 km, but in case of the continental crust it is 30 km. Okay. The continental crust is thicker in the areas of major mountain system. Okay. So basically the continental crust is more thicker in the mountainous areas. Like in the case of the Himalayas, the thickness of the crust is around 70 km. Okay, the thickness of the crust is around 70 km, and the crust is made up of heavier rocks. Okay, basically the crust is made up of heavier rocks having density of 3 gram. So as I said that the crust is made up of heavier rocks, okay, and here the density it varies up to 3 gram per cubic centimeter. Okay, this type of rock found in the oceanic crust is basalt, and the mean density of the materials in the oceanic crust is 2.7 gram per cubic kilometer. Okay, so even the density of the rocks it varies depending upon the oceanic crust and the continental crust actually. So basically the crust is the outermost solid part of the earth, okay, and the thickness of the crust it varies depending upon the oceanic area and the continental areas. Okay. The next we are going to discuss about the mantle. Okay. This is the second layer of the earth's interior actually. The portion of the earth beyond the crust is called the mantle. Okay, the portion of the earth beyond the crust is called the mantle, and the mantle extends from Mohs discontinuity to a depth of 2,900 km. The upper portion of the mantle is called the asthenosphere, and the word astheno means wick. Okay, the upper portion of the mantle is called the asthenosphere, and it basically means wick, and it is considered to be extending up to 40 kilometer. Okay, means the area where the crust ends, actually the layer of the crust ends, from there till a depth of 400 kilometer we can find the upper portion of the mantle. Okay, that is the asthenosphere. It is the main source of magma that find its way to the surface during the volcanic eruption, and it is through this mantle actually that the magma it comes out, okay, to the earth's surface when volcanic eruption takes place. It has a high density than the crust. Okay, the density of the mantle is higher. Okay, and here the density is around 3.4 gram per cubic centimeter. The crust and the uppermost part of the mantle are together known as the lithosphere. Okay, so the crust and the uppermost part of the mantle is known as the lithosphere, and its thickness ranges from 10 to 200 kilometer. The thickness of the lithosphere it ranges from 10 to 200 kilometer. In the lower mantle it extends beyond the asthenosphere and it is solid state. Okay, and the lower mantle is in the solid state. Okay, so here you can see basically in this diagram, okay, that the crust is there, okay, 0 to 70 kilometer, 0 to 100 kilometer thick. It ranges depending upon the continental areas and all, and then we are having the mantle, okay, means maybe from this 100 kilometer to 2,900 kilometer. Okay, and this is again divided into two parts, that is the upper mantle and the lower mantle. Okay, the upper part of the mantle is the asthenosphere, okay, which is where the magma is there. Okay, and this upper part and the crust they together form the lithosphere actually. So next you can see here that is the core. Okay, the core, this is the interior, the last layer of the earth's interior actually. Okay, the earthquake wave velocities helped in understanding the existence of the core of the earth. The core mantle boundary is located at the depth of 2,900 km. So the boundary between the core and the mantle lies at 2,900 km in the earth's interior. Basically the core is again divided into two types, okay, into two parts actually. What is the upper core, outer core, okay, and the lower core actually. The outer core is in liquid state while the inner core is in solid state. Okay, the density of materials at the mantle core boundary is around 5 gram per cubic centimeter, and at the center of the earth at 6300 kilometer, the density value is around 13 gram per cubic centimeter. Okay, so the density of the materials in the core also varies. Okay, so basically the materials which are found in the core mantle boundary, the density range is 5 gram per cubic centimeter, whereas at the center of the earth, okay, that is around 6300 kilometer, the density is 13 gram per cubic centimeter actually. The core is made up of very heavy materials, mostly constituted by the nickel and the iron, and it is sometimes referred to as the knife layer. Okay, so the interior, the core is made up of the heavy materials, that is the nickel and the iron. Okay, and this is the reason that it is also known as the knife layer. So here you can see the core from 2900 kilometer till 6378 kilometer or 6200 kilometer. Okay, the outer core from 2900 kilometer to 5100 kilometer, that is the outer core where the materials are in the liquid state, and from 5100 kilometer to 6378 kilometer, okay, that is the inner core where the materials are in the solid state. Basically the iron and the nickel are there. Okay, so this is what about the earth's interior. Okay, so the earth's interior is mainly divided into three major divisions, that is the crust, mantle and the core. Okay, so I hope now you all are clear about the types of earthquake as well as about the structure of the earth's interior. So thank you my dear students.